So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, let's talk good start to a video. Time to talk about the first chunk of episodes in season 8 of Fear the Walking Dead. So we're looking at 8A. Words just feel really weird in my mouth today for some reason. It's one of those days. As always, if you guys want to check out the extended version of reactions, they go up over on Patreon. There's a whole bunch of content over there. There's about 2 uploads a day. We've gone back doing movie reactions, live streams, fun stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys want to see more content, the link is in the description down below, along with the link to my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you can find me that I can talk some shit basically and have fun and just talk about stuff that I love. All the links are in the description. Okay, so 8A. Whoa, I actually made little notes on this because there's so many points I want to touch on. First of all, I think I liked that we only focused on a small number of characters for the first 6 episodes. You're into the last season of a show. You have a lot of storylines you need to wrap up. There's a lot that you need to tell and explain and show. So I feel like focusing on the chunk of characters that we did for this part was good. I loved Morgan's storyline. I loved June's storyline. Sherry, Dwight. I'll get into all them in a minute. I liked it. I feel like intertwining all of those stories together and focusing only on them, it was a good move. You still have 6 episodes left where you can explore other characters, and I feel like it gives the show more focus. So I feel like that worked. I did miss Strand though. I felt Strand's absence. He's probably my favourite character from Fear. So getting a whole 6 episodes without him was weird. I gotta admit that was strange. Okay, so first of all, the June and the Shrike cure thing that they kind of touched on. That, I don't know, man, that kind of confuses me. I mean, I guess I get it in concept. I get it in theory, radiation, but not everyone can survive it. I mean, I feel like they gave us hope and then they ripped it out of our fingers and fucking slapped us into the head. Finch, which was Dwight and Sherry's kid. I was on an emotional roller coaster with that child. The scene where Finch got bit was absolutely traumatizing. Fantastic scene. Really got the emotions going. I felt for Dwight and Sherry. I wanted to punch Shrike and that whole operation into oblivion. But then you thought like, oh no, well maybe Finch is okay because of the treatment. Cool, like he's going to be fine. And then no, poor Crater dies. So like that was just a lot. I liked June's little side quest of badassery where she was out there sniping fingers off and then Karma came a knocking and ripped her finger off. Shrike and her brother and the whole Padre thing. I don't think I liked them as villains. I don't think it was strong enough to be the final boss of Fear the Walking Dead. Fear has had a real complicated relationship with villains. I mean, you know, a villain comes in and as soon as they're there, they're gone. That took a while to get used to, but that then kind of became the charm of Fear. You didn't really have enough time to get sick of a character or to decide that you were done with a character because they were only there for a very short amount of time. And I feel like Padre had the potential to be such a cool villain, such a cool story, and then they just rushed through it. They kind of told us, not showed, what Padre was all about. Do you know what I mean? Because we had the big time jump and then we had all the kids being grown and then the parents going looking for them. I don't know. I feel like the impact wasn't really there with Padre for me. And then you had that big reveal of it's not really Padre because the guy that's running Padre was actually dead and it was just Shrike and her brother all along. Yeah, so that just makes them Padre. You know what I'm saying? That bloody scene as well where their dad fucking crawled out the swamp with the binoculars around his neck. That was just, I don't know, man, that was ridiculous. That was the past coming out the swamp to bite her on the neck. And she just let it happen. Because I guess the ones that we love never truly leave us. They come back to get our asses when we're out of line. Which he did. He took his fatherly duties real fucking seriously and he crawled out of the depths of death to take his daughter with him. Morgan's storyline was the absolute standout for me over the course of these 8 episodes. I love Morgan as a character. I always have. He's had highs and he's had lows like any other character that's been on any long-running TV show. But for him to start out in The Walking Dead and then cross over to Fear. I mean, when I think of Fear, a lot of the standout moments include Morgan. That weekend that he crossed over from The Walking Dead into Fear, that was just fucking incredible. And then this chunk of episodes where we got Morgan going home. We got him dealing with a lot of the trauma of his wife and his kid. We had him going back into clear mode, which I felt so bad for him. He was losing time and waking up in places he had no idea where the fuck he was. My camera keeps changing saturation. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just going with the vibe of the conversation, I guess. If I come closer, will you stop? I did love getting the mention of Eastman Again, seen him put up the grave for Eastman and Grace, and he had his own little private graveyard going on there. But seen him talk to Eastman, and it was like the passing of the torch, metaphorically, because he was literally passing a stick. So it was the passing of the butt-kicking stick. But seeing him give that stick to Mo, like, you know, the next generation, that she's going to go on and carry the legacy. He's going to teach her all he knows, the same way that Eastman taught him. And Grace dying was, I don't know, I don't think it was that surprising to me. I didn't see her making it out of this season. I didn't think they'd kill her off quite as fast. But I feel like she's had a rocky relationship in the show anyway. There's been a lot of times I thought she was going to die. And I kind of knew there's going to be time eventually they're not going to fake us out with her. I just feel so bad for Morgan having to lose yet another fucking loved one. I mean, you know, he seemed okay with it. He paddled off into some unknown with Mo to find Rick, which, by the way, getting a mention of Rick and the walkie scene, one of my favourite moments we got from probably the whole show. I would love to see Morgan pop up in one of the other Walking Dead shows. I'd love to see him in Rick and Michonne's show. I'd love to see him just go off, do his thing with Mo, and then one day just appear. Because that's kind of Morgan's thing. He does just pop up unannounced, like, hey. I'd love to see him find Rick. Grace's death was a standout scene as well. That was really something. The Sherry and the Dwight thing, I'm like, I don't know, lads. I actually don't know what in the love of God. They've had such a long story and a long overarching thing over the course of The Walking Dead, and then here. I get what Dwight was saying. He was like, I think we're just fucking cursed. Nothing works out for us. Nothing ever goes right. You know, first with Negan and now with Shrike. Maybe we're just not meant to be together. But he broke up with his wife over their dead child's grave. Now, when he first crossed over into Fear, it felt like, because Sherry was like running for him back when John Dory was trying to help him find her. Yeah, she was like, she kind of had that mindset, but Dwight never gave up hope. He always had this like inner light of like, no, everything's going to be grand, everything's going to be fine, we're going to make it work, I'm going to find her, and we're going to be good. But like, the apocalypse was just truly against the two of them. I still don't think they should have broken up though. I'm like, you guys, no. See, I've become attached to them now, and I thought they might be able to work things out. And that's when Dwight went, nah. There was a long time I thought that they should have split, that they should have broken up, because I thought it's just not working. Like, the two of you, you're just not working. But then, I don't know, when I saw them with their kid, and then when I saw them fighting to live, and everything that they've been through these 6 episodes, it changed in my mind. So when he broke up with her, I was like, I am just finally on board with you guys trying to make a go of this. That's me and Dwight though. Me and Dwight are never on the same page. Yeah, a lot of people are mentioning the after credit scene or the closing scene where we see someone holding onto a walkie-talkie and they're listening to somebody, and they pack up a pair of aviators, a hammer, and a hand or an arm. The arm-hand thing, the skeleton bit of a body, belongs to Alicia. But I saw a lot of people saying that the aviators belong to Strand, and I think the hammer belonged to Madison. So it's like a little I don't know, collection of props. A lot of people are toying around with the idea that it could be Troy. There was a lot of people in my comments like, you didn't even notice that was Troy. We still didn't get confirmation because we didn't see the face. We didn't actually see anyone. I do think it's going to be somebody that we've met before, that we've seen before, specifically because they kept the face out of frame. If that was a new character that they were going to introduce, because it's fair, they could introduce some brand new big bad we ain't never met before for the last 6 episodes. But because we didn't see the face, I reckon it's got to be someone that we've seen before and that we know. And, you know, after Madison's whole coming back from the dead fucking stick, I truly put it past, I put nothing past this show anymore. Anything could happen. That could be any character that we saw, dead or alive. So, yeah, that was a cool way to end this half of the season. Whoever it is, they're gathering up all their bits and bobs and they're going to go out and create some anarchy. I liked seeing Daniel back front and centre, seeing Daniel be back operational, seeing him be back almost to his old self, seeing him put his skills to good use, trying to help the parents all find their kids. I still don't really get how he's suddenly better all of a sudden, but he is. He's just not having... what was it? Was it dementia? Was it dementia or Alzheimer's, I think, that he was kind of teetering upon the edge of? He's totally grand now. He drank some fancy tea and is just back in the game. But that's the beauty of Fear. Certain things like that happen and I'm like, you know what? I will absolutely let that fly. I will just let that ride because it's Fear. And Fear has had this kind of quirky way of storytelling throughout the years where there are certain things that I'm like, yeah, that tracks. And Daniel coming back and being like totally grand was one of them. I feel like we're starting to kind of go back to the early feel of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like we're going to focus on a lot of the original characters for the last 6 episodes, which I am very, very excited for. All I want to see is a Clark family reunion. It's not going to be the same if they don't do it. I mean, you brought Madison back. They got to find a way to reconnect her with Alicia. I've been saying that since Madison was announced that she was coming back. Charlie, I'm like concerned about, because we heard Daniel mention Charlie really briefly, but we haven't seen her. I don't think, was it confirmed that she died? Did he say that she died? I don't think that he did. He said that she got sick and that he promised he'd be there for her, and then he kind of fucked off and was like, oops, I broke my promise. But Charlie, yeah, last we saw her, she was like super sick from, was it radiation? And then we just got nothing. She just hasn't been seen or heard from again. Sarah as well, allegedly, isn't going to be in the rest of the show, or her name was taken out of the opening credits. So I don't know what in the love of God's going on with her or her brother, Wendell, in the show. Luciana as well is another one. I don't think we've seen from her in forever. That's the thing. When you have a show that's it has such an ensemble cast and there's so many characters do get pushed to the sidelines. And then storylines with other characters really take off. And it's like other smaller plot points or storylines or characters are kind of just forgotten about. So I hope we get back to some of those characters for the back half of the season and we at least find out where they end up before the show ends. I just can't wait to see Strand. I've missed him so much. He's been my favourite character since like the get-go. Well, no, Nick was my favourite character, but I always had a soft spot for Strand and I always thought he was so fascinating to watch on screen. And then when Nick left, I was like, alright, Team Strand. But yeah, like all in all, I thought it was a really good chunk of episodes that just kind of, it did improve upon itself as the episodes went on. And it was one hell of a finale. That mid-season finale was one of the best we've seen in a very long time from Fear. I was impressed. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on the first 6 episodes. I thought that I would just get on here, have a chat, let you guys know what's up. Because, you know, when I do the reaction, that's my first time seeing the episodes, so there's things I don't pick up on, or I can't vocalize every single thought that comes into my head because there's so much happening. That's just some of my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think if you didn't already underneath the reaction video. I'll probably be doing a chat for Dead City very soon as well, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon.